Hi all, welcome to our breakdown review of Berserk episode 7. Today we are going to discuss the three following topics. Number 1, our opinions and thoughts about this episode. Number 2, the next episode and the future expectations. And number 3, our favorite and our worst part of this episode. So let's get this started. Says, what are your thoughts about this episode?
We started with a scene from the last episode where Casca was being worshipped as a witch. She was drawing attention back at the camp when Luca heard that another girl was captured for
Just as
witchcraft.
she was about to be whipped, Gus came to the rescue. He easily sliced some knights and scared the rest away. After asking for Casca and her brand, Gus met with Luca and the rest. Finally. But before he could get to Luca's tent, Nina ran away with Casca. They tried to run away, but they got intercepted by some witch worshippers. Gut's team had split up, and thankfully, a lucky Isidoro and Puck saw them getting taken away. They were led to a cave where Casca was being prepped for another forced goat thing fornication. Isidoro showed up his courage and rock throwing skills by taking on the cult while Puck flew away to inform Guts. Meanwhile, the knights were informed by Joachim to the location of the cult. Even though they heard of Guts' arrival, Fanny decided she had to go through with the stopping of the cult. Demons started to take over the cult as the soldiers arrived. While it was chaotic, it became horrible when Billy infected the goat head. He became a bigger monster and, like the whole world of Berserk, tried to sexually assault Casca. Just as Casca was about to lose it, Guts came and sliced the snake of the goat demon. Yeah, boy. What did you think of this episode, Khan?
I think this episode was great. We got to know Fornice a little bit better. She still doesn't believe in demons, after being almost raped by a demon horse or almost got attacked by an apostle, and now she sees a demon goat. You would think by now that she must know that demons exist, but no, she thinks it's all drugs related. Yeah, right. But anyways, what made this episode great for me was how Guts entered the scene and saved Casca. He entered the area in a flash style and chopped off that goat's dick. That was one cool epic entrance of Guts. And that was the only epic entrance of Guts because, I mean, that was not the only epic entrance of Guts because in this episode, Guts made two cool entrances and in both of them, he was saving someone. In this episode, we also got to know a little bit more about Puck and Isidoro. We learned throughout this episode what the purpose is of Isidoro and like why he is following or insisting on being with Guts. And now we also know what the name of Isidoro means. So check this episode out to find it out. And we also discovered that Puck has a healing magic skill and he can fly really fast. One more thing. With this episode, we have learned that a year has passed by since the first episode of Berserk. You know, I'm hyped for the next episode. Guts is finally going to see Casca. Will Casca remain her memory and become herself again? I really hope so. Would be cool to see Team Guts and Casca fighting with each other against Farnese and Supiko's army. Says, what do you think is going to happen in the next episode?
It's going to be exciting for sure. Gus and Casca finally meet after all this time. Though unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be so smooth for them just yet. The knights, the demons, and our heroes are all together in a crowded cave. It will be pretty easy to lose each other or Gus getting forced to fight someone like Demon Goat or Azan and being unable to help or pursue Casca. I think either Casca will be captured there by the knights and escorted to the tower, or Gus actually saving her but Muscus and his squad coming for confrontation. What do you think is gonna happen, Khan?
I am fooled a few times by the preview of Berserk, which I don't mind. It's cool being surprised after all. But what I do think is going to happen in the next episode is that we will see an awesome fight between Guts, the goat, and the crew of Vernice. So, Sass, what is your favorite and worst part of this episode?
My favorite moment was Isidoro the Rock Thrower. And I do have to mention Luca's courage and bravery. You go, girl. The worst moment was the cliffhanger. Why do you do this? Why? Anyways, Con, what was your favorite and worst scene?
My favorite scene of this episode was Luca. She was standing up against the Holy Knights. I find it very brave for her because, as one of the characters of Berserk, Luca has no power and probably no fighting skills as well. But yet, she stood up and tried to save one of her girls. Like Isidoro, I was moved by Luca's speech as well. For me, there was also no worse scene this time.
Thanks for watching the anime breakdown of Berserk. Join us next week for more breakdowns. Leave a comment, suggestions, and remember, Puck is the leader, you infidel.